I am so excited to be here for Wellness Wednesdays. Every single Wednesday in 2023, we will be downloading a video that is going to be focused on creating a higher level of health, harmony, peace, and joy, not only in your body, but also in your mind. And I'm super excited to be able to help guide you throughout this process. You are incredible, and the energy that you carry into this world is 1000% your responsibility. A lot of people will hear that and they get kind of put off by that idea, or they get excited about that idea. People have different perspectives around taking personal responsibility for the energy that they choose to put out into this awesome world that we live in. So most people will ask me, what does that even mean? How do we even start? What do we even do? So much starts in the healing process around our habits. And our waking up habits are one of the most important set of habits that we have around creating an awesome quality of life. It is very common for me to hear people say to me that they don't have the time, they don't have the energy, they don't have the desire, but we're going to go back to this one, which is they don't have the time to make themselves a priority in the morning or sometimes at all. I ask people oftentimes, like, how much time are you taking in self-care? And a lot of times it's just like crickets. They say it's too stressful, I don't really have extra time to do that. But they're reaching out to me to create a higher level of health and internal harmony. So it's a question I oftentimes will open up with people of, well, you're reaching out to me for a session or for insight, and you're sharing with me that you don't have time to make changes. So a lot of times we need to break those things down. And instead of telling ourselves that we don't have the time, choosing to allow ourselves to say that we will make the time for ourselves. We will make the priority ourselves and our healing process in the morning, even if it's just the first 2 minutes you get out of bed, which is what I want to talk to you about today. The first 2 to 3 minutes where you wake up is a really important piece of your internal process and an internal puzzle. It is very common to wake up and kind of just get going. Oftentimes we have these blaring alarm clocks, which are really hard on the nervous system. If that happens to be your situation, try to swap over to an alarm clock that isn't quite so loud and aggressive. There's no reason to shock your system first thing in the morning. Before you get out of bed, notice the feelings that you have in your body. What I mean by that is just take some nice, slow, big, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Ask yourself, just how are you doing? What are you thinking about? What are you looking forward to in this coming day? It's so often we wake up in a feeling of pressure. It's so often that we wake up with this to-do list and we just start almost this, oh man, I got to get up today kind of feeling. Again, I want you to think about the energy that you're putting into the world, and you can choose to shift this anytime that you want. So it's very common again for people to tell me they don't have time. It's very common again for people to tell me that they're not morning people and that's just not what they want to do. It's totally fine, but I'm telling you something, as a medical intuitive and a very good manifester for over the last 32 years, I will tell you something that's really quite awesome. You can choose to change at any time you want to change. So if the current habits that you have are waking up to a blaring alarm clock, not even thinking about how you're feeling and what's going on in your brain and in your heart process, you're just checking your messages all of a sudden, or you open up your laptop right away, or you wake up to screaming children, I'm going to ask you to take some nice, slow, big, deep breaths before you access your phone, your computer, or even get up to check on the children. I'm going to ask you to take just 2 minutes of just breathing in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. Thinking about things like this, how amazing is it that I opened up my eyes today? How amazing is it that no matter what I'm going through in my life, no matter what, it's not going to last forever? How amazing is it, again, that I get to wake up today? How amazing is it knowing that I can focus on anything that I want today? So if I'm waking up thinking about all that I have to do, all that I need to do, and I feel like I'm just burdened right away getting up and out of bed, I'm going to ask you to take some slow, big, deep breaths and remind yourself that you're very lucky that you get to wake up and do these things. You're very lucky that you get to wake up and you get to take care of your children and you get to go to a job and you get to do things that pay your bills. You get to do laundry. You get to take care of things that are given to you. Think about it. Like really take a moment and think about the fact that you might be taking it for granted that you have hands that work, that you have maybe a laundromat right next to your house or even access to a laundromat. Maybe you have your washer and dryer in the garage or in your house and you don't even have to go anywhere. How amazing is that? How amazing is it that you woke up under a roof and you're warm? These are things to think about in the beginning of the day. Because if we're not choosing these kind of thoughts, we're going to be left with whatever our brains naturally default thinking. And normally when we do that, that's normally not the best solution to creating a higher level of peace and vitality in our system. So what would this have to do with healing? Well, we're responsible for the energy that we put out into our world. If we're waking up in a state of pressure and resentment and pressure and angst, pressure and overwhelm, and we keep staying focused on these things, it drains our healing battery. How many times have you felt emotionally drained, but your energy is totally fine? It's because there's a lot that goes on in our head process consistently. We're worrying, we're putting pressure on ourselves, we're worrying, we're stressed, we're worrying, right? Worry is a huge beast when it comes to affecting peace of mind until you learn how to ride it in a very fun, gracious way. So for now, when we wake up in the morning, just take 2 minutes before you get out of bed, just breathing and paying attention. I'm not asking you to even change anything. Just pay attention to how your brain is working. Is it thinking about thoughts that are going to bring joy to you? Is it thinking about thoughts that are going to bring stress and pressure to you? Are they thoughts that are making you feel depressed? Have you never even thought about it before? Pay attention. Because when we pay attention, that's how we get to heal. If we don't pay attention, it's very hard to heal because we get to navigate the ship of our own healing process. So first thing is if you're waking up to a blaring alarm clock, shift gears and get an alarm clock that's much more enjoyable, not so jarring to the nervous system. It's a beautiful way to wake up in the morning. Another thing to be very mindful of is just for the first 2 minutes that you're laying in bed, no phone, no computer, just sitting quietly, integrating the fact that you woke up this day and consider what it is that you're thinking about. Pay attention. What are the thoughts on autopilot? What are the thoughts that are there? Pay attention. Be willing to listen to yourself. Then, if you want to, what you can do is, wow, that's interesting. I didn't realize I was thinking about these things. I didn't realize this is how I was waking up. That's the PowerPoint. Then you can allow yourself to take big, deep breaths should you choose to, and you can focus on things like, I am really quite blessed that I did wake up today. I'm really quite blessed that no matter what I'm going through, it's not going to last forever. I'm really blessed that I can anchor what it is that I'm choosing to really think about. And taking those big, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. As we do this, it's an incredible shift over time that will happen. And a lot of you that wake up and you're feeling tired, you feel like you can't get enough sleep, I guarantee you, your beginning of your day, as you adjust it, you will definitely feel better from the inside out. So the next couple of weeks, we're going to talk more about this, but this is kind of your first step is how are you waking up? What kind of an alarm clock are you waking up with? And then just sitting there for 2 minutes to pay attention to what you're thinking about. Then remembering you can choose to stop and reset anytime you want. If you want to enjoy your life and have more energy, we need to drive the mental focus a little bit more aggressively by making choices about what we're going to choose to focus on. We have about 55,000 thoughts in a day. They're about the same the next day. And as you keep retraining them, it's really quite powerful to experience because you literally can change how your brain works over time with consistent effort. If you're going to tell me you don't have 2 minutes in the morning to do that, Let's just say you're choosing not to spend 2 minutes in the morning to do that, but you do have the time should you choose to. And I promise you, it's well worth your time.